to them. It was a treat for him to be able to pitch in front of his family. You could tell his teammates just loved him. Just, from seeing, it's been hard watching all this, as a diehard Marlins fan. I don't even have to be a Marlins fan. This is just a huge loss for the baseball community because of A, how great a player he was, B, how much fun he made the game to watch when he was on the mound. Most importantly, C, how great a person he was, even at the young age of 24. I'm older than 24, but when I was 24, I didn't exactly, always make the best decisions. I wasn't really caring about what others thought about me. Jose, did his best to make everyone around him just feel special. And, just seeing from the Marlins press conference today, the whole team gathering around, behind Michael Hill, the president of operations, David Sampson, team president, and Don Mattingly, the manager. There was Mike Dunn, relief pitcher, holding Jose Fernandez jersey in front of him during the press conference. The whole team, as I mentioned, gathered around. You could see tears flowing from Michael Hill's eyes, discussing Jose, as well as Donnie Baseball, Don Mattingly. Don Mattingly also mentioning, how fun he was to watch, playing the game like a kid would, and that's what he did. And it really is truly sad, seeing other people's tweets, or Instagram posts. I've seen some of the Marlins Instagrams posts from Christian Yelich to Adenny Echeverria to Big G, Giancarlo Stanton to Marcelo Zuna, all posting stuff, about how tragic this truly is, for them. And of course, one of the saddest things was one of Jose Fernandez's last Instagram posts, maybe not even a week ago, was a picture of his pregnant girlfriend, saying that she's expecting, I believe it is going to be a baby girl. Now that baby girl will be unable to see her father. It's truly a sad thing. Anyhow, so many players tweeting out their respect. Guys like John Lester. John Lester wrote something like he never tweets on game days that he pitches. He pitched today, but, he said, how tragic this truly is. Freddie Freeman, David Ortiz. David Ortiz was supposed to get a gift, for his last game in Tampa Bay against the Rays. David Ortiz wanted none of that after the news about Jose. I heard on the radio today that, Jose said prior to the All-Star game that, if he faced David Ortiz, of course, David Ortiz is retiring after the season, so this will be his last All-Star game. He said if he saw David Ortiz in the All-Star game as a pitcher, with Ortiz hitting, he'd throw him 3 fastballs right over the plate. Try to give Big Papi that, special moment to hit a home run in his final All-Star game. Well, they ended up facing each other. What did he do? Throw breaking balls and change-ups. David Ortiz didn't stand a chance. And, they were both laughing after the moment. That's another, example of what type of person Jose was. Definitely a guy that made other people laugh. Sorry. It's just, like I said, as a Marlins fan, it hit me hard. It really did. Such a joy to watch. Such a classy guy. And, unfortunately, at the young age of 24 years old, born in 1992. And 24 years later, he's gone. With a daughter coming soon. Um, you could tell from his Instagram post how truly excited he was that, his girlfriend was expecting. Um, and, he won't be around for it. Um, just thinking about that is really sad. You don't have to be a Marlins fan to truly feel this loss. It's definitely, I wasn't around when, Thurman Munson, Roberto Clemente died in plane crashes, but you still hear about those stories all these years later. How many people were truly hurt by those instances. Like Roberto Clemente, who was Nicaraguan, Jose Fernandez was an inspiration to the Cuban community. I gave you his, some of his background story, and especially in a city like Miami with a large Cuban contingency, he absolutely meant everything to so many people in that area. It's just truly a shocking moment. I could really think about how this affects the Marlins. As a Marlins fan, you think about it, they're screwed. How are they going to field a good team next year? With what pitching? Are they going to sign 5 free agents? But I'm not even thinking about that. That's, the last thought on my mind right now. We truly lost a great baseball player, a great human being at the young age of 24. And, it's crazy how it could affect, someone like myself and so many other people who probably never have had the chance to meet him. Just for entertainment values, how much they brought to us. For example, when Tony Gwynn passed away, a couple years back, I was like, wow. I was in complete shock with that too. Arguably the best hitter of my era so far, dying at the young age of somewhere around 50. And I remember seeing Tony Gwynn Jr., his first at-bat back after, his father, Tony, unfortunately passed. They were playing the Marlins that game. A game was in Philadelphia. He was a member of the Phillies. And, that crowd just, standing up and giving him a loud ovation. I forget who the Marlins catcher was that day, maybe Jared Saltalamacchia. Anyhow, him, calling time, walking away, YouTube it. It was definitely a special moment, and that's definitely one that Tony Gwynn Jr. Will never forget. Another example, Anthony Mason, New York Knicks. I'm a huge Knicks fan. It's probably my favorite team in all sports. Anthony Mason was my early childhood. Pretty much when I first started watching the NBA and the Knicks, seeing him, Pat Ewing, Charles Oakley, just such a tough, hard-nosed team, guys like Starks, Harper. Sometimes we see these guys as almost invincible, Anthony Mason, so big and rugged. I did see him once in person. I was just like, wow, he is huge. Not even necessarily, he's a lot bit taller than me. He's 6'6", 6'7", but by NBA standards, that's, fairly average. But just how wide he is, and, a lot of it was muscle. And, a guy that size playing basically point forward, bringing the ball up, it's something we've really never seen. We've seen tall guys like Lamar Odom and Scottie Pippen do that, but they weren't the size of Anthony Mason. And, what he did was, incredible. And, those were, the best teams I've seen, best Knicks teams I've seen. I wasn't around for their two championships back in 1970, 1973. So for me, at least, that was the golden era. Him, Oakley, Starks, Harper, Ewing, Greg Anthony, Hubert Davis. I could go on and on. But those are just absolutely fun teams to watch. And, their battles with the Pacers, the Heat, the Bulls, just extraordinary to watch. And as a Knicks fan, I haven't had many extraordinary moments over the past 12 years. So those are ones I'll always remember. So Anthony Mason passing away, hit me hard as well. But I would have to say this hit me harder because the guy's only 24 years old. Like, he should have so many more, at least half a century, of life. Like, I'm not even talking baseball. He probably would have had, another 10, 15 years pitching in the majors. Who knows? But, that's second to, what he means to his family, his friends, who no longer get to see him when he's only 24. His mother and grandmother could have never expected anything like this. And here he is, gone from us. And he's still an active player. Anthony Mason was out of the league for, 8-9 years when this happened. Fernandez only been pitching in the majors for 4 years, and it's just been brought such excitement to the team. We haven't made the playoffs. Marlins haven't made the playoffs since 2003. It's really hard to give fans reasons to watch when you're not really fielding a competitive team most of the time. This year they're fairly competitive, but, they faded recently. And, once again, they're not going to make the playoffs. But, who cares right now? Jose Fernandez is gone, 24 years old. Definitely, sad day, and he'll truly be missed. Me, because I think I see how great a person he is. Unfortunately, for selfish reasons as well, as a Marlins fan, I don't get to see one of the best pitchers in the game once out of every 5 days. Someone who brings such excitement to the game, just doesn't go about doing his business, which he did, but someone who just was so happy to be on the playing field all the time. And, just to see that smile, it was an infectious smile. It really was. And, I forget who it was. It might have been Preston Wilson, who does some Marlins games as the color commentator. He, just said how basically during Jose's starts, the lights seem to shine a little bit brighter. The bass from the music just seems to be a little bit louder. Just everything seems to, and the crowd's just that much more into it when he starts. And it was so true. It really was. And, unfortunately that won't be there. So like I said, for selfish reasons, it's terrible that this had to happen. More importantly, like I said, he clearly meant so much to so many people. The Cuban population in Miami, Cuba in general, the city of Miami, diehard Marlins fans, you see his jersey everywhere. I have, his jersey shirt, which I actually plan on hanging on my wall, because, basically retiring his jersey, that's how I see it. And just to the baseball world, Marlins weren't exactly one of the most televised teams, throughout his tenure. But, some people may have MLB.TV or Extra Innings and, wanted to watch a game. Oh, Jose Fernandez is pitching. It's definitely a game I want to watch. So many people did that. They got to see, what he brought to the table, and that was what few and far between have been able to bring. Jose Fernandez, 24 years old, Rest in peace. Thank you for listening. Until next show, goodbye, everyone.